employment spelt wrong, and education and music, $4,000 and $9,000, and I'm not very good at monetizing those. I have no idea if the typo traffic is of value anymore. It's not something I really have ever done. It's definitely a model from 3 to 5 years ago and was very lucrative at the time, but I'm not sure how it is. I'll be curious to see how these things are monetized. Again, a little more than I'm willing to pay, but that doesn't mean that they're not worth every single penny of it. So it's interesting to see, and I'm glad I don't sit there on NameJet and put my name in all the bids, although it looks like I should. And it's definitely, if you've ever bid on NameJet, you'll notice there's a lot more watchers than there's ever been. You'll see people with 40, or you see names with 45 bids, 100 bids, and then they'll go for $2,000. There's a lot of people that just want to see how much they go for. So it would be kind of nice for NameJet just to put watch, so you can actually see the result without, so you know who's a serious bidder and who's not. But I guess it really doesn't matter. When you want to pay for it, you pay for it. And if there's somebody bidding, doesn't matter if there's 1,000 bidders or 50. It is the price is the price. Another thing that I've noticed over here is Google Plus, and talking about 10 million people. It sounds like a lot of people, but compared to all the people on Facebook, I think it has value. But it's, I can barely get on Twitter. My Facebook is like for my mom practically. I don't do a lot of that, so I'm a social guy, but I'm not a social media guy. So I am part of Google Plus, and I don't know. I haven't used it yet. I don't even think I put up a picture yet. I may be the only person that doesn't really care. I do think it's valuable, though. It would be silly not to care about what's coming up. That's kind of our job, I guess. My article on where I sell my domains. I've always been pretty upfront. I don't sell a lot of domains. I do okay with them. This is extra money for me. $25,000 is a lot of extra money. I can do a lot of things with it. I sell them on, as I stated in the article, I sell a lot through Sedo or Sedo or SEDO, however you pronounce it. I get bids, 1 a week, 10 a month maybe. Most of them are the $100 range, $200 range. I get excited no matter what it is. You're supposed to act like you've been there before, but I still get excited when people want to buy my names. So I get real excited when people start at 1,000 or 1,500, and I work it down to an area that I think that we can both agree on. But I do really well with them. I'm a big 5letter.com guy. I think it's very good for startups, easy to spell. I have a certain style I do. Most of you that send me your list of 5letter.coms are terrible. I've never seen so many consonants other than a Russian name. And but that's your fault and your problem, not mine. Mine seem to do decent, but I've also bought hundreds of names that suck. You gotta learn to drop them, gotta learn to throw them away, gotta learn to give them to the guy who thinks he can do better. So I don't care if I get those lists, send me all the lists you want, but there's definitely millions, well, I don't know the exact number, but tens of hundreds of thousands of 5letter.coms, and most of them are not very good. But the ones that are good are gaining in value every day, and I'm glad to see it because I got them early, and I got also in on the 4letter.coms, and they're not doing so well. They're doing okay, but they're certainly not anywhere near what they were 3 years ago. So it's nice to see me actually selling a couple names, or it's nice for me at least. I don't know if anybody else cares. I sell some on NameJet. I've been fortunate enough to be part of their program. It's good for the people that are buying because there's a big inventory in their list, and it's good for the sellers. You can there's a way to liquidate. If you're in the domain investment game or business, you want to have a source for good names. You want to have names that you don't get it at auction, that you get from private individuals. You're always looking for those sources where you can get things a little cheaper. And you're looking for an outlet. Where do you sell them? Who do you sell them to? Without both sides of that model, it doesn't work out real well. And that's just another source that I use. I've used other ways, but it doesn't seem to go as well. There's Boxcar's doing a great job. Michael's doing a great job. Cax does a great job. I haven't really explored those too much. The first two are working real well for me. GoDaddy, I think I've sold one name on there. I put them all up there, but I'm not cheap. I don't want to give it away. I don't want somebody to pick me off. So I could do a much better job of selling. But as I stated before, I got a business to run. I got a family to live with, and and I have a lot of other things to do. So I am only willing to do so much, and you can criticize me for it, but I'm in this to have a good time, and when it stops being fun, it's when I quit. And I'm not going to lie, there's a lot of people say I don't have time, and I'll just be honest, and there's some things I just don't make time to do. So that's where I stand on those. Morgan had a little snippet on Dean Cruz, and again, he's friends with Patrick, and Patrick and I are friends, and Morgan and I are friends, and of course we're all supporting each other for the cruise. Another guy that believes in good time. Patrick is always fun to be with. Anytime, if you've ever met Patrick at a show or wherever you're doing, he'll both arms out, and I guarantee Dean Cruz is certainly a place you want to be if you're going to the conference. And even if you don't care about domaining, I think it'd be still a really good time. So definitely, his top 10 reasons are my reasons. I think he should go on Dean Cruz. I think it's going to be a good time. I can't go because I have Ironman that same week, or really close to it. So I'm not going to be able to go. He said, now he's not telling the truth, but he told me he changed the whole cruise just because my marathon last year was the same weekend. But I know that wasn't true. But that's still a pretty nice thought. But unfortunately, I also changed what I'm doing that weekend or to another week. So one of these years I'll get over there and see what see what's going on. But I know it's a good time. Jamie.weekly had TweetDeck buying Deckley, and again, that's not a huge deal, but those are the kind of names that we all dream about. A name that maybe, Deckley, that's not a big deal. That's probably a $200 name, but you dream that some big company wants it, or a larger company. That's me. I own Puddles.com. It's not too exciting, but I always dream of this movie coming out about some dog or something named Puddles, and they give me $100,000 for it, no questions asked. That's kind of a dream. So when I see Deckley, I don't really care that they bought Deckley, but I like the thought of what kind of name it was, and that's something we always think about. Again, you've seen Domain Gang. Domain Gang's releasing the best of Domain Gang. I had a talk with Theo this evening about what was going on, because I didn't know what BFTP meant. I thought it was like back the fuck up or something, but I didn't know what it meant. But he kind of explained he's putting some of those old ones out there that people might not have read, and they're pretty funny. Most of them. Some of them, a little crazy, but Acro/Theo/ whatever he goes by some days, doing a hell of a job. He does a really good job, and considering he writes all that himself, that's a lot of work, a lot of thought, and so I like Domain Gang. I always kid him, I always make fun of him about I don't get a lot of his jokes, but I do get a lot of them, and I think he does a hell of a job. So you can't fault him for all his effort. He does definitely worth reading. So that's about it. See, there wasn't much info on there tonight. Another person I think you should check out is Diva Domainer. I think she does a great job at divadomainer.com. She puts out a list kind of like I do. She puts out a video, and she's a hell of a lot better looking than I am. Definitely somebody you should check out. She's giving it her best. She's doing what she can to develop an audience. So she's not on the domaining feed, but she probably should be. She's certainly giving an effort. I like what she does. She's doing Florida Ironman too, so I appreciate anybody that puts forth the effort to do something of that nature. And I really check her out. She does a good job. And she does some videos too, which are, it's always fun to see what people look like and how they talk. And not everybody's the same in front of the camera as others, but she does a real good job. So that's about it. If you like to see more of these, I certainly can give it a try. It's a hell of a lot easier than typing, and as you know, I could talk all day in front of this stupid thing. So have a nice evening. We'll talk to you later.